you talk about this crush that you've had on Jennifer Aniston, like that you had met her prior to the series, had asked her out.
Our other top story this morning, Hollywood mourning the loss of one of its friends, actor Mathew Perry, who suddenly died yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. What we do know about Mathew's day is that prior to his death, he had played 2 hours of pickleball.
Nobody had ever dealt with that. And, you know, the idea of even losing him.
What the hell? This is not supposed to be emotional. God dang it.
The 911 call was in regards to a cardiac arrest, and when first responders arrived, they found that he had drowned in his jacuzzi.
Greetings, everyone. We are writing to you now with heavy hearts, as we recently learned of the demise of the wonderfully gifted and adored Mathew Perry. He was more than just an actor on cinema for a lot of us. With his enduring wit and charisma, he was a source of everyday joy, solace in difficult times, and a true sunshine. Mathew had a special talent for connecting with people. Whether he was making us laugh out loud as Chandler Bing on Friends or winning our hearts in his several film roles, he made us all feel as though we knew him personally. We will pause today to honor and commemorate the life of this remarkable man who filled our lives with so much laughter and joy. The grief felt by those who stood by Mathew Perry over their years of friendship is evident as the world struggles to come to terms with his passing. Our dear Rachel Green, Jennifer Aniston, posted a moving black and white photo of herself with Mathew on Instagram. It is clear from her words that she is grieving. There is an immense emptiness in my heart. Mathew was family, not just a coworker. We shared the highs and lows of life. A comic icon has been taken from the globe. Jennifer Aniston and Mathew Perry seem to have a connection that went beyond the written dialogue between Rachel and Chandler from the moment they set foot on the Central Perk set. Their friendship was real, strong, and long-lasting. It wasn't simply for the cameras. In an emotional conversation that touched on his struggles with addiction in the early 2000s, 54-year-old Perry revealed something new about his special bond with Aniston. Even though he was extremely popular at the time, he admitted that Jennifer, our dear Rachel Green, was the only cast member to confront him about his drinking when she boldly went up to him on set and told him, "We know what's going on." During his interview with Diane Sawyer of ABC News, Perry presented a negative image of that time. "When I should have been enjoying life to the fullest. Instead, I was slipping downward and feeling alone and in the dark." Jennifer was the one who always stretched out the beacon. Perry recounted how horrifying the meeting with Aniston was, but also how grateful he was for her intervention, acknowledging the importance of it. Perry faced more than just emotional difficulties. He revealed the bodily cost, detailing a terrifying experience in which opiate misuse caused a burst colon that left him unconscious for 2 weeks. With only a 2% chance of life, he spent over a year living with a colostomy bag and underwent 14 procedures. In a 2021 interview with The Today Show, Jennifer reflected on their shared experience and said, "I couldn't fully grasp the immense pressure Mathew was under. It was heartbreaking to see his pursuit of the ideal laugh and his self-inflicted sorrow when it failed to materialize." The on-screen wife of Mathew, Courtney Cox, who played Monica Geller, expressed her dejection on Twitter. "It feels as though a chunk of my soul has been torn away from me by losing Mathew. He was more than simply my co-star. He was a vital part of my existence. This is going to hurt for a while." Our beloved fille buffet, Lisa Kudrow, paid a heartfelt tribute on social media. Mathew possessed a unique talent that allowed him to bring happiness even in the most difficult times. His energy and sense of humor will always reverberate. Peacefully sold, my friend. The actor Matt Leblanc, who played Joey Tribbiani, opened up about his loss on a late-night program. "In every way, Mathew and I were allies. Our united laughing reverberates in my ears to this day. Words cannot express the emptiness his absence generates." Our Ross Geller, David Schwimmer, talked of the impromptu times he spent with Perry. "I loved all the times Mathew would veer off course and make us all laugh so hard we could not stop." His legacy as Chandler Bing and the extraordinary person he was will live on forever in our hearts. The Friends cast has always been a close-knit community. Recognized for their strong relationship throughout the years, they reunited in 2021 for a highly anticipated reunion show on HBO Max. Perry's emotions were evident during this reunion as he talked with his old co-workers about their close bond. "This is how it is," Perry said. "Everything else would blur whenever we met at an event or gathering after the show. My whole evening was planned if I happened to run into any of them. I have to excuse myself to anybody I was with," he continued, but they had to understand. "It felt like being reunited with relatives when I saw one of them. You would become absorbed in the discourse for hours on end. That's the magic we all share," he said, as the cast's emotions ran high. "It is the way things have always been with us." His flawless comedic timing and sharp wit delighted hundreds of millions of people worldwide, according to NBC, the network that broadcasts Friends. His influence will endure for many decades. "We are saddened to hear about Mathew Perry's demise," the official Friends account on X, formerly known as Twitter, stated. "For us all, he was a genuine gift. We send our condolences to his family, friends, and all of his admirers. It is difficult to fill the vacuum that Mathew Perry left behind." Tributes are flooding in, all confirming his lasting influence. Okay, let's go back and explore the life of the man who would go on to become a generation symbol. Before the caustic jokes and the coffee mugs from Central Perk, Mathew Perry was just another young person with huge goals in Hollywood. His mother was an actress and former Canadian press secretary who was born into the fast-paced world of show business. Acting seemed to run in his family. However, things weren't always easygoing. Mathew seemed doomed to stay in the background after dabbling in a few TV shows in the late 80s. But then the 1990s arrived, bringing with it baggy clothes, grunge music, and a small TV series called Friends. According to the legend, Perry fell in love with Chandler Bing the moment he read the script. The irony is that, although he was first involved in another project, that pilot's failure ultimately led to his arrival at Central Perk, and I'm quite grateful for that. The huge break came when Chandler was cast. Matt was in need. He became the character, not just the actor portraying it. Who can forget that distinctive Chandler voice, the awful dance movements, and the wonderfully timed jokes? Friends wasn't his only notable achievement, though. Mathew has exhibited his versatility in films such as Fools Rush In and The Whole Nine Yards over the years. With addition, he dabbled with writing and producing and performed on stage for periods of time. The man possessed immense talent. It's evident now that Mathew Perry was more than just an actor. In his own right, he was an institution. Through his path, he taught us to accept our eccentricities, to laugh at the ordinary, and most importantly, that no matter how many times you fall short, a major break is always just around the corner. But the way he went away was just too heartbreaking. This past Saturday, Mathew Perry was sadly discovered dead in the hot tub at his Los Angeles home. Fans and loved ones are shocked by this tragedy, as the young man was only 54. When officials arrived at Perry's house after the call at 4 p.m., Perry was regrettably unresponsive. Drugs were not found at the site, according to people close to the investigation, even if the precise reason for his death is still unknown. Additionally, early indications point to no foul play. Perry's representatives have not yet commented on the circumstances. The lead investigation into his death circumstances is being handled by the LAPD's robbery homicide team. The ultimate determination of the cause will be made public at a later date by the La County Coroner's Office. That night, the area around Blue Sail Drive, an exclusive A-line neighborhood with stunning vistas of the Pacific, was roped off with the LAPD's distinctive black and yellow tape. Helicopters began to drone in the air about 7 o'clock. Perry's mother, Suzanne, and her spouse, Keith Morrison, arrived during this period. Morrison remained mute during the interrogation. Regarding any updates, LAPD authorities present on the scene were silent. Peter, a Blue Sail Drive homeowner, met Perry once for a short while and thought him to be a really kind guy. He said, "The news is jolting," seeming surprised because Perry had been actively remodeling his home and seemed to be in good health. It's really tragic, he continued. When emergency personnel were sent to Perry's house, Leo, another local, was also there. He conveyed a great deal of anguish, but withheld specifics about the scene. Perry had impressed Leo in their first meeting, not only as a superb Friends actress, but also as a very friendly person. Meeting him was a delight, even more than I had anticipated, his passing at such a young age. Leo remembered with fondness. It is very depressing. There is no doubt that Perry's passing has left a vacuum, and many people are finding it difficult to accept this terrible loss. Some stars shine so brightly in the glittering fabric of entertainment that their light never dims, even after they pass away. Without a doubt, Mathew Perry was one of those bright spirits. Countless fans all throughout the world are grieving deeply as we sort through the bits of information concerning his untimely death. Perry has made a lasting impression, from his early years navigating the complex world of Hollywood to his quick ascent to fame as Chandler Bing. His on-screen presence made millions of people smile, but off-screen, his relationships with his co-stars, particularly the endearing one with Jennifer Aniston, formed a picture of a man who was loved by many. Their steadfast assistance during their turbulent personal and public lives is a testament to the depth of their bond. His untimely demise in the prime of his life, under tragic circumstances, serves as a reminder of how short life is. But even if the specifics of his last moments are still unknown, his legacy is undeniably obvious. Perry was more than simply a talented actor. He was a source of happiness and tenacity. He was someone that many of us grew up watching, enjoying his jokes, experiencing the warmth of his presence on television, and connecting with his challenges in real life. The streets of Los Angeles, particularly Blue Sail Drive, may seem a little quieter as we close this memorial, but generations to come will still be impacted by Perry's laughter, his contributions, and the love he shared. Tonight, a new star emerges in the wide sky of Hollywood's legendary figures. Even though you are no longer with us, Mathew Perry, your legacy will live on in our hearts forever. Peace be with you, my friend. Your generosity, brilliance, and unmatched charm. Your unwavering charm, brilliance, and spirit will always be appreciated and remembered.